just across Amansi Bridge. But as commissioner, I lived in commissioner's quarters, and at some point, every food I ate in that house was actually produced within that place. I had fish ponds, I had poultry, I had cassava, I had okra, I had inine, I had mbolidi, I had nshonwu, I had all of these things. And I think in the past, Mamano Nasu, the has been the district and they have eaten quite a lot of my products as well. So Dalono, if I know people have one year that it helps. Dalono, thank you. Dalono.
Mr. Governor, sir, Mr. Deputy Governor, the First Lady might stand on the existing protocols. I am Lady Theodora Ofi Iberbe MNI. I'm the head of service, Anambra State. Mine is that I started with subsistence farming. I farmed last year, even though the land wasn't so big, but I harvested my cassava this year. And right now, I am feeding 10 families out of my harvest with Gary. 10 families are feeding from the Gary that I made from my farm. In January this year, I decided to try breeding chickens. I started with 20. That first attempt, I lost about 7. I had 13, and I was able to also share to families. Right now, I bred 50, and out of the 50, I lost only 3. I was left with 47. I kept 10 for myself, and I have also shared the remaining to other people. So I want to encourage Ndi Anambra to go to farm in order to feed. In my house, I have bags where I planted vegetables because I couldn't imagine somebody asking me to give her 2,000 naira to go to the market to buy vegetable worth of 200 naira. So I have all those in my bags now. Water leaf, nchawu, no, the other one, otazi for quick pepper soup. So you can step into the house and in 15 minutes, pepper soup will be ready. So I encourage everyone to engage in ventures like this so that hunger will run away from Anambra. Thank you so much. Mr. Governor, sir, Deputy Governor, Mama Ndi Anambra, Afamubo Ngozi Chumaude, Professor Ngozi Chumaude, Album Commissioner for Education, Ndi Anambra Manambo Farmer. Ordinarily, I raise more than 30,000 catfishes every year, and we have snails. Presently, we have more than 14,500 snails and the hatchery. We hatch our catfish, and we are also into poultry. We produce 120 crates of egg every day, and we have broilers. That is the parent stock. So farming is a good thing, and Mr. Governor is here to introduce Anambra into the best of the best. Food is life. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Governor, the Deputy Governor, Mama Ndewo, Afambo, Mr. Joseph Okonkwo Dodge, Abmonyomo, Rice Kainako. Nambido, Onoda Promoto Tata, Kai Wego Gofuna Hainaro. Today, rice, Ainako rice in Luku. Maniam Pagu, Aina Webu Fast of Bugia. And Ako rice, where rice meal. Okay. I'm a rice producer based in Omo in Ayambelemu local government area of Anambra State. Before I started as a farmer, but today I have my rice processing unit. All of them based in Ayambelemu in Anambra State. And most of the machines that we used to have as difficulty as the drudgery in rice production, I have them today. I have my tractor. I have combined harvester. This year I cultivated up to 40 hectares of rice. I believe Soludo will sharing rice again. Like I really want to supply the whole rice that you will use. So I encourage my fellow farmers in Anambra State to embrace agriculture. I don't know what food is sold in the market because I don't buy them. For my rice, I have my yam, cassava, and others. If you leave me here, I will tell you more things about what we do. Thank you very much.
Mr. Governor, sir. Deputy Governor, and my Mama Anambra, good afternoon all. Yes, my name is Elwin Anoro. I'm a farmer in practical, and I'm also a farmer in processing and packaging. By the grace of God, we have exported sesame seed from Anambra State. It was in 2020, the lockdown nearly dealt with us so much that our supply chain was disrupted because we accessed the sesame from the north. But we are not able to have our raw material at our processing plant. So we have to devise a means and strategy to start production in Anambra. So by that end of 2020, we were able to produce sesame seed that we can call made in Anambra and process and produce in Anambra State. By the grace of God, we have our processing facility in Nnewi at the incubation center funded by the federal government, science and technology. We process, where we produce, and we package and market our sesame seed in a retail pack for consumer goods. And also we supply to supermarkets and malls within our Anambra and outside Anambra State. And today we also devised, because sesame seed is a drought-resistant crop, like every other crop. It doesn't need much water. It doesn't need much, even the cattle does not attack it as people normally say that cattle attack their plant. Sesame is one of the best plants you can plant at the time when there's no rain. Even if it doesn't have any rain within 1 month, it can still survive. So that's the money I have for sesame seed. We're also devising a means to produce ginger in Anambra State. We are doing it at a trial stage now in Ayamelum, in Ifitogwari. That's why we are doing ginger. We are doing it in a toilet system where we don't need to touch the soil. The soil will be at its stage. We don't need the soil. We use another biomaterials to produce ginger and get it certified organically. And the export is out. Thank you very much, sir.
His Excellency, Mr. Governor, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Al-Hassan Mohammed. I'm from Kogi State. I'm a graduate of agriculture, and my testimony is that while I was in 300 level, I decided to go into farming, and I planted a hectare of land, farm rice. So from the farm, I was able to make 588,000 naira as a 300 level student. So with that money, I was able to see myself through the university, and now I am a graduate and on a under the leadership of Dr. Foster Ihejofor, the Commissioner for Agriculture. Right now, I'm farming ginger, soybean, sesame, and it's all purely organic. And I dare say that that's the best decision I've ever made. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a similar. So my name is Chigozie Stephen Otago, O Protocol period. So while in university, I'm a fresh graduate from Anambra University. I started poetry in my second year. So little by little, jokingly, that farm funded me through school. So while I was doing it, other people were just looking at me. They were, what is this for doing? Don't you like selling and all that? But we were making good money from what we were doing. From time to time, we formed a cooperative. And as a student cluster, we ventured into vegetable, cucumber, pepper, and the rest of that. And we were making good money from what we were doing. So I can tell you for free that the solution to Nigerian problem is agriculture. Not just any agriculture, but organic agriculture. That is what will lead us to. I can tell you the only disadvantage I had then was that I have to manage my time, not like other students, but I came out with flying colors. And most of those people that don't have anything doing in school, most of them are still sorting themselves out in the university. Okay, so
Agric is the solution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Governor. There are so many people still lining up wanting to testify, but for want of time, we're going to be demonstrating the possibility of farming all year round. When you walked around, you saw bags over there, and Mr. Obi and Bombo from Engineering of Ministry of Agriculture. Will you please come forward? They are going to be showing us how it is possible that rain it will not keep us from producing. You can invest in vegetables and fruits all year round using a common technology which we call drip irrigation. You use product to do your farming, waste bag, waste water bottle, you set it up and you can have vegetables and fruits produced year round. I'd like camera to point over there while they do the demo. Can you go ahead and have the microphone?
Mr. Governor, this is a simple demonstration of homestay farm. Once you have a compound, you can set this thing up in your compound. We have water, which we use for to irrigate the bags. So this water can last for 4 days. You can travel and come back, and your crop is still growing farm. It doesn't lack water. During the dry season, you can plant. All year round, you can plant. In your house, any space is in your house, you can do it. It's very simple. The materials used are locally sourced. There's nothing. It's not expensive. Then you get a good harvest. Use your waste from the kitchen. You can have all this. Thank you.
Solution Anambra.
You can use to puncture. Maybe you can use nail and puncture it. It will be dripping. Gradually, I can last up to 4 days. Even a week. Once you have your water, you don't have issue. During the dry season, you produce whatever you want in your compound. At the back, front, any space that is available. Any space that is available. You can do this in the city. You can do it in the city. So you don't have to spend much. This bank cement. You can pick it. It's not expensive. Okay. Okay, it's finished. Homestay farm. Home season, you don't need, whether it's dry season, even if you cannot.
All right, thank you very much for that demonstration. Your Excellencies, what we have just seen is a demonstration of what our people know as Ugbo Azono, which is a concept you have been teaching even before now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today for the flag off of what His Excellency calls Operation Farm to Feed. As was said,
Operation Farm to Feed. As was said by the earlier speaker, that while there is a casting down nationally, we have a lifting up in Anambra State, courtesy of His Excellency, the Solution Governor. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, permit me to invite a man and introduce to you a man who actually needs no introduction, a man who has, carved his name in our hearts to speak to us on a very important issue for which we are all here gathered today. Please join me as I welcome and invite His Excellency the Governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo Sieva. Soludo Solution.
Soludo. Solution Solution Anambra. Anambra Kweno. Yeah. Anambra Kweno. Yeah. Anambra Mono. Yeah. Zuano. Yeah. Katano. Yo. The Deputy Governor of Anambra State, the First Lady of Anambra, Mama Anambra, Enokuyae. Yes, you taught us to farm, and we are now in the farm. Members of the EXCO, all the farmers here, representatives of our youths from all the communities in Anambra here, students, the Women Farmers Association, the professional farmers here, ladies and gentlemen. What is that? We have come as part of history. We are here as part of our own response to the ongoing conversation in the country today. That some are protesting, some parts of Nigeria. Anambra State is not protesting. And I want to use this opportunity to thank the Anambra and to thank all our youths, to thank Anambra youths who have maintained the peace, going about their businesses. All the markets are open, everybody going about their businesses. What on the Anambra, the youths have resolved that they want to take their destiny in their own hands, to take positive steps, to move their state, to move the country forward. They believe that we can do something about the crisis or the challenges that we have, that everybody has some role to play. They are not protesting not because they don't feel the pain, but because I want to be part of the solution. As youths are saying, it is good to complain, good to protest, but better to do something. That's what our youths are saying. And I want to commend you that the state has not experienced anything. Nobody's gathered anywhere, let alone protesting. They're going about their normal business, and we'll hear in the news that something is happening somewhere else. Fellow Nigerians, like I said, we've come to launch something very important. But a bit of context is it's necessary. I encourage everyone to Google and either read the lyrics or listen to the song sung by the legendary Sonny Okosu, 1984, that's 40 years ago, about Nigeria, entitled Which Way Nigeria. That song summarizes, you will think that song was sung yesterday. It simply tells us that Nigeria has been singing songs of lamentations for decades. It didn't start today, but what we have come here to say is that it is now time for action. After singing songs of lamentations for decades, 40 years ago, he sang about the fact that we neglected agriculture, we neglected the then Green Revolution, and he said that was our doom, that we need to get back to it. He challenged us that all of us must come together to save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Sonny Okosu challenged all Nigerians and told us that every little thing that goes wrong, we blame the government without knowing that we are all part of the government. And he said we should all come together and save Nigeria. Today, what we have come to launch is the issue of citizens' action, collective citizens' action in partnership with government to eradicate hunger once and for all in Nigeria. We'll still remember that 1984, when he sang this song, was the era when we had the massive austerity measures from 1982 to 85. There was the issue of queuing up to buy essential commodities. You had to queue up for hours and for days to have access to buy, even when you had the money, to buy essential commodities such as sugar, salt, even detergents, rice, vegetable oils, and so on and so forth. We had to queue up. And since then, we have been lamenting about hunger. Every year we lament about hunger. And it is now time to do something. Listen to Sonny Okosu's song 40 years ago. And he puts it all in context. Today, like we said, we want to launch an initiative to turn our challenges into opportunities. Our challenges are many as a people. Yes, there is hunger in the land. Yes, there are pains. We feel it. Everybody feels it. But while it is good to complain about them, everybody can do something about them. This is citizen action against hunger in partnership with government. In partnership with government, yes, our charge is to be the solution you want to see. It's good to complain or protest, but better to be the solution. Again, everyone can do something positive. Yes, government can do a whole lot, and it is in the interest of government to do something about food, agriculture for everyone. Whether we are dealing with the issue of ensuring food security is the duty of government to ensure food security. But also, food inflation is a major component of headline inflation. So, if we want to bring inflation down, we start by bringing food prices down. But today, we want to address how we can collectively bring food prices down. And so, to have a healthy nation, food security, address poverty, food supply is critical. And government can do a whole lot. Don't get me wrong. Government can do a whole lot to about this process. Government can address issues of policies and incentives, including access to cheap capital, for cheap financing for agriculture, for those involved in commercial agriculture, improve seedlings and some subsidized inputs, rural infrastructure to minimize post-harvest losses and improve supply chain to the urban centers. Yes, government can and should do something about security that stops farmers from going to farm and so on, irrigation schemes, and so on and so forth. That's quite a long list of what government can and should do. And we are about it. I'm in part of the governing elite, and that's why I'm out here, that we must do something. And we are doing quite a lot here in Anambra to make these processes to happen. Of course, as you are aware, about 3 weeks ago, we again shared about 1,040,000 palm, coconut, and other rare economic tree seedlings, cash crops, which were given to the Anambra, and that brought it to about 2.2 million seedlings we have distributed so far as part of our 10 million target, which we hope to complete in the next few years, that will completely bring poverty out of Anambra ecosystem, a new industrial ecosystem and wealth creation in the state. We are embarking on those, and then, of course, assisting smallholder farmers in various other ways. But today, we have come to launch a major initiative which we call the Farm to Feed campaign. Farm to Feed campaign. This is a simple strategy, a simple partnership deal between government at all levels and citizens to end hunger and ensure massive supply within the next 12 months. We ensure end to hunger on a sustainable basis. Government will do the bit that it can, but the citizens have a lot to do. Government can provide all the incentives and whatever, but if there are no citizens to take up these incentives, if there are no citizens, no youths that can take their stuff and farm, if there are no grandmothers that can do the farming even on their balcony or the backyard and plant something, then it will all come to naught. And I want to say, even for our public servants, the only job Hello? Yes. You know, we are doing this in a farm. The event is in a farm, so never mind. There will be all manner of disruptions. The only job allowed by our constitution for public servants to do as part-time is farming. So everybody is allowed to farm, whether you are from governor, deputy governor, commissioners, head of service, and as we've had fantastic testimonials here. My secretary to government is a professor. He has his own big farms. He's a commercial farmer as well. He's allowed by the Constitution. Our head of service now has told her story. I heard the story of the Commissioner for Women Affairs, who says the First Lady of Anambra took her to farm. And, the First Lady of Anambra was harvesting her own gardens and what she farmed the other day. And I think won't need to buy cucumber and buy vegetables or buy fruits and so on for the next several months to come. Thank you, the First Lady. I think you are leading the way in that regard. Let's turn farming, agriculture as a new national pride. Operation Farm, Operation Show Your Farm, Operation Show What You Cultivate. So the next time somebody says there is hunger in the land, my response is, yes, I agree. But what are you doing about it? What have you done about it? Do something about it. Urban agriculture with farming in sacks. We have just been shown sample of that and how that could be done. Even on the what we call balcony or the veranda, you can put the sacks there and plant onubu. Plant the vegetable there, and they will grow like the flowers where you'll be plucking them to eat. Get something done. We'll mainstream this to become the new national, to become the new normal. Everyone can produce, and hear this, if everyone can produce in a year just enough of one thing, to eat, for the family to eat in one day. Whether it is vegetables that your family can eat in one day, you produce it, or enough onions, or enough food, pepper, potatoes, tomatoes, just enough for your family to use for one day in a year out of the 365 days. I can tell you the pressure on food prices in the market will massively drop. If you can't feed the nation, at least feed yourself or even your family for just one day by what you can produce. Let us turn every vacant piece of land into a farm. Even if it is 5 square meters, just a little bit of where I'm standing here now. Put something there. As we were driving out, the first lady was showing me some farms that used to be places that used to be some bushes and so on. Even as you drive out of the governor's lodge, some bushy neighborhoods and so on. She has gone ahead to convert all those neighborhoods to become farms of vegetables and so on and so forth. And we're just admiring them. Rent a space if you can, but plant something. I will say to you, here in Anambra, we will continue to do more. We are pressured to do more because we haven't succeeded until the hunger in the land is brought down to the barest minimum and every resident of Anambra can find something reasonable to eat at affordable prices. But we can do that if all of us get involved, if everybody gets to do something. Government will continue. My government will continue already, like I said, about 2 weeks ago, 2 days ago, we distributed 1,040,000 seedlings, palm seedlings, coconut seedlings, okwa, breadfruit, major delicacy in this part of the world, bitter cola, pawpaw, and so on and so forth. Cola, cola, the Igbo cola, and so on and so forth. Several of them, and next year we'll be distributing another 1 million, as the case may be. And in 4 years, when they start fruiting, the average household with 10 of those seedlings will permanently be out of poverty, and new industries to process them and export and send to the rest of the world are already imagined. That's the revolution that is on. But we must now get down to basic foods, cassava. We had the testimonial of I think the head of service who planted cassava, and now from the gari that she produces, she's a lawyer, the head of service of Anambra State. But from her farm, she produces enough cassava and gari to feed about 10 families, as the case may be. So let's do something. If everybody does something, then we're going to have it. We're providing more seedlings and inputs. And by the way, in Anambra, we're promoting organic farming, regenerative agriculture. We launched it 2 years ago. We're actually de-emphasizing the use of fertilizer in Anambra. For those who can still do without it, we are going back to nature. We are going back to organic food, because we live longer, we live healthier. My wife promotes healthy living, and therefore organic food is the way to go, ultimately. Leave no vacant space. We are going to be collaborating with communities, local governments, the churches, the schools, and so on and so forth on this Leave No Vacant Space campaign. We'll work out schemes for public servants to spare some time to farm and reward public servants with the biggest farm outputs, food or animal husbandry. We're going to be having prizes that we'll give to them because it will be next year, Operation Show Your Farm. Show where you are cultivating, whether in the balcony or anywhere. I am spoiling that I will take the first prize. I'm going to go back to farm. Anyway, some of you are ahead of me now, but we'll be catching up with you very soon. For our political appointees, it is the same thing. Operation Show Your Farm next year. and prizes will be won. All the appointees, I'm sure, from deputy governor, you can see deputy governor is already geared up. We'll say, we'll come to Exco and we'll see who will win. We'll celebrate the farm champions. All the students, we've heard testimonies of two former, just fresh graduates who started farming from their student days. And from their farming, they actually saw themselves through school. And they are now graduating into big-time commercial farmers. We must mainstream this. So it's good to complain, but better to do something. So these two students who have done something, I think before I leave today, I want to see you and encourage you the more. Yeah, I will encourage you more. We must do something. Okay? We expect the local government chairmen to take the campaign down to their respective local governments as well. We expect the president generals of each community to take the campaign down to the various communities. We expect the church leaders to join us also on this campaign. I hear one of the dioceses in the state is actually mainstreaming the same campaign in the churches and so on and so forth. Let's just mainstream this everywhere. In the Anambra, Nigerians, we are Nigerians. Nigeria is the biggest black nation on earth. There is nothing we set our mind to do that we cannot achieve, if we set our mind to do it. If everybody takes responsibility. We have a saying in Igbo that aka aja aja na-ebute ọnụ mmanụ mmanụ. It's only by soiling your hand, going to the farm and soiling your hand, that you become entitled to have an oily mouth. That's the Igbo proverb. That's why Anambra is not protesting. Our people believe in hard work. We believe that if things are hard, we can do something about it. And that is what we have come today to encourage our people. Why commending them, our youths, for not taking to the streets to just complain or protest? They have chosen to do something about it. Let us be the change that we want to see. If after decades of lamentations, we are now launching this program, same old story. Decades of lamentations. We saw the civil war here in this part of Nigeria. But there was nothing to eat. Kwashiorkor, people were dying of kwashiorkor, but we survived. We went through essential commodities era. Hardship, queuing to buy essential commodities. Our people survived. And this time again, we'll say hunger in the land. We will not just survive, we will help to feed the rest of the country. Let's get to work. Let's get to work. We've seen far worse conditions before, and we are resilient people. We work hard. We take our destiny in our own hands, and by dint of hard work and dedication and commitment, we shall prevail. And Nigeria will realize its God-given potentials to be not just the greatest, the largest black nation on earth, but also among the top 5 largest economies of the world. We can do it. Let us get to work. Every citizen, one at a time. Complain, protest, but very importantly, be the solution. And here today, we launch this citizens collective action and partnership with government on Farm to Feed Pro campaign. Farm to Feed campaign. All around me, I have the farms. You can't be around my wife and not see farms around you. And now, I think I have become converted myself, fully, that I will now get to the farm myself. And by next year, I will show you in the Anambra and Nigeria, my own farm. I will ask you to come to my own farm next year. That's how we do something about it. Thank you very much. Let's get to work. And by the grace of God, we must prevail. Thank you, and God bless you. I think the next of it we are going to just, there are things that will be distributed. There are seedlings. Seedlings. My wife launched it a few weeks ago, distributing seedlings she had distributed this to thousands of women. But this time, some are saying yes, some who have planted, the women who have planted, who have gotten this. She has been distributing these seedlings, vegetables, and so on and so forth. Now we want to mainstream this and distribute it to even greater number of the Anambra who are interested to plant something. Are we ready to plant something?
Yeah.
Are we ready to farm to feed?
Yeah.
Are we ready to banish hunger?
Yeah.
Let's to action. Be the solution. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Solution Anambra. Can go Kanidi Ubasuno Kanine Solution Anambra. Solution Anambra. Onyabona Kabubo Kanidi Kanabana Webangole. Hello. Hello. Ọ na-abazi n'ọbịa ka o jee kọọ ugbo ka o tinye abacha n'ala kọọ ugbo ka mmiri na Anambra mba tugo na ụlọ emebiri ugbo. Hello. Onye ọbụla jee kọba ugbo, ọ ife gọvanọ anyị na-ekwu. Operation Farm to Feed. Operation Farm to Feed.
Governor in Ekezi Seedlings.
Hello. Mr. Governor is leading a silent revolution. A revolution against hunger. Operation Farm to Feed. That is the new agenda.
Wonyobuna konyiwenana. Wonyobuna kobubu. Soludo zela bojale wamba ganyi kohubo kanidi. Ta wetemma wetogune no wakanyi koni. Anambra yesinike na banike. Jali wamba wo egenemo.
Operation Farm to Feed. That is the new normal in Anambra State. Courtesy of Mr. Governor, Professor Charles Sukuma Soludo, the solution innovator. This is a silent revolution.
Welcome to Soludo. Welcome to Soludo. Jali wamba wo ekenemo.
Hello.
All right. Nanyalumo uye Soludo. Wada de luli wedaloma. Nanyalumo solution adiago. Solution Anambra dianyinaga. Solution Anambra dianyinaga. Wonyobuna kobubo. Anya nemere demonstration na Anambra maganyi na bambo. Anambra na bambo. Wonyobuna kobubo. Anambra wezinike. Anambra wezinike. Na banike. Zenazu no begi konyumbo. Aulu green konyo nubu na begi. Nonyaluma wunye Soludo. Wada de luli wedeluma. Solution adiago. Solution Anambra adiago. Kanyi kobubo. Band osugo. Is okay band. Is okay band. Band is okay.
Thank you. That's enough. Thank you. Ozugo. Ozugo on the band. Ozugo Arizona. Thank you very much. Please, ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture with Mr. Governor, haven't carried out the symbolic planting exercise as well as the distribution of farm input. Most effectively invite us to be on our feet as we sing.